I don't know what they were thinking, but the Ekko buff was too much. They made Ekko an absolute beast, and also Irelia has been one of the most broken champions right now in the game. She is way too strong. Like mid lane and jungle, she is just way too strong. And hey, what's up guys, Darkbreaker here, and in today's video, welcome to the tier list I've prepared for patch 3.2a. They did a few balance changes here and there, especially Camille received a huge nerf, and then on top of that, they also changed items like Frozen Heart and Iceborn Gauntlet. So I think a few champions are gonna be better and a few champions are gonna move down, but obviously this is a small patch, like it's a sub patch, so obviously not major changes, but I mean Camille is a pretty big change. And before I'm starting, hope you guys enjoy, or hope you guys will enjoy this tier list, and if you guys did, then make sure to just subscribe and leave a like, doesn't cost you anything, and you guys stay up to date with future content. Plus obviously we are gonna make videos for Malphite with Iceborn Gauntlet, maybe Ramos as well, because these champions are gonna become much better thanks to the Iceborn Gauntlet buff. And if you guys have any other ideas for champions that can benefit from the Iceborn Gauntlet, then write it down below in the comments as well, because obviously the meta might change a bit, maybe even Nasus with Iceborn Gauntlet instead of Sandra, but I think Sandra is gonna be still better. And another thing, this is my subjective opinion, so feel free to discuss or write down your opinion down below in the comments, whether or not you guys agree with me or you guys don't agree with me, because this is just my opinion and opinions differ. But this is just an orientation for you guys about what champions I think are hot right now, or what champions I think are good or easier to carry than with other champions. But in the end, you can play whatever you want, and if you are a master on a champion that isn't considered strong, you can still carry with that champion. But yeah, let's get started with the Baron lane tier list. Enough talking about here and that. Let's get started with the tier list. So for the Baron lane, I've decided to move up Riven. I've put her S tier in my previous tier list, but I think I've underestimated her, and the reason is she's becoming super popular with the Divine Sandra build. If you, I think let's put a condition on it. If you are proficient on Riven, you are a player that excels on playing on this champion, maximizing the skill ceiling. Like you are at the skill ceiling. You know how to play her perfectly. I think a good Riven is S plus tier, and especially with Divine Sandra. We have seen it in the Korean pro scene especially, and now a lot of players are using Riven as well and performing exceptionally well. And I think with the nerfs on a few champions here and there, she's also getting, wait, let me move this. She's also getting better. Yeah, Riven with Divine Sandra in the right hands works really well, and she is super strong in my opinion. She doesn't really have any hard counter matchups. I think the hardest matchup for her in the Baron lane is probably the Renekton, who also got buffed. But I think even if Renekton got buffed and Renekton is a hard matchup, it's definitely playable if you are playing the matchup perfectly. And Riven, if you are skilled, you can basically win or do even against most matchups, and she obviously has the insane duel power. She's good in team fights as well. She had so much sustain now with Divine Sandra, because previously I never used the Divine Sandra on her, and I blame Random for it, because Random always said to me, Divine Sandra is so shit on Riven. But he didn't realize that Divine Sandra on wildrift is broken as fuck. And in combination with a Death Dance, you have so much sustain in team fights. And once you get the lead, it's actually very hard for Riven to die in a team fight. But I feel like I'm talking too much about Riven. Let's get next to Renekton. Renekton received a buff on his ultimate, and base regeneration also received a buff. I've put him as plus tier before. I just put a star on him because he got changed, and he got even stronger now. One thing is, one of his harder matchups, the Camille pick, that is very good with Divine Sandra against him, got nerfed. So, I mean, now that Camille is getting a nerf, a lot of champions have the advantage that one hard matchup is falling out of the strong Baron laners to deal with. So for Renekton as well, now he has one hard matchup less than before, because everyone was like playing the Fiora pick or the Camille pick before, but those two picks are now nerfed by the point that they are not really considered a hard threat anymore. Obviously, they can still be strong, but I think a Renekton now against Camille is super easy to play against. And Renekton against Fiora was already in his favor, and after the nerf beforehand, definitely in his favor. She got a slight buff, but I think it's still definitely in his favor. Renekton overall super tanky, great duelist, and good frontline, and he has great mobility as well. Next one is gonna be Darius. Darius is still one of my favorite 1 vs 9 hard carry Baron lane picks. He is very tanky. Some people say he's not tanky. You're literally building him full tanky. Blood Cleaver, Derek Sketch, Deadman's Plate, Guardian Angel, and I don't know, Spirit Visage. He's tanky. I don't know how people can say he's not tanky. I remember the last time in my video I said he's tanky. People were like, he's not tanky. He is tanky. If you think he's not tanky, you're bullshitting yourself, because he does tons of damage. He has the 1 vs 9 potential, and he is super tanky. You can say whatever you want. He's considered a juggernaut. Juggernaut means he is not even a bruiser, he's tanky. It's like Garen. Garen, Darius are considered juggernauts. Set as well, juggernaut. Set, super tanky, good split pusher, good damage. And amazing crowd control, S plus tier. Jace, range top laner, is very good at abusing melee champions. Freezing, zoning, harassing them, bullying them in the lane completely. Insane damage as well. Kinda squishy, but you can make up with good positioning, and also very good poke all the time. If you're good at Jace, you will bully majority of Baron laners super hard. And who are hard matchups? I would say Irelia can be hard. Riven can be tricky. Renekton. But otherwise, he is doing very well against almost any matchup. And now, S tier. Malphite, the rising star. I wasn't sure if I should put him S plus tier. Because I don't like his playstyle necessary. I feel like he still has the issue that Divine Sandra champions that are good at split pushing can counter him, can bully his playstyle. He wants to group, he wants to join team fights. He needs to hold his lane or bully the enemy laner so he has time to roam. But if the enemy laner is a split pusher with Divine Sandra, he will always play aggressive and shove the wave, try to create enough pressure that Malphite can't roam. But one key major threat got nerfed, which is Camille. Camille Divine Sandra, Malphite can't hold the lane, but now she got nerfed, and Malphite received a pretty big buff with Iceborn Gauntlet getting buffed. Iceborn Gauntlet now gives you HP and scales with bonus armor. So the more armor Malphite gets, the more damage he will do with his Spellblade. So Malphite is by default getting a buff with the Iceborn Gauntlet buff. It's a perfect item for him. So what you can do is you go a Bramble Vest, you go Ninja Tabai, you go Sunfire, you go Iceborn Gauntlet, and any melee champion can't do shit anymore. It's gonna be very hard to deal with a Malphite because he does a lot of damage as well. Like if they, I mean obviously they will get Divine Sandra, it gives healing, it does percentage damage, but it's percentage physical damage. So the more armor you have, the less damage you will receive. So who is dangerous for Malphite? The number one most dangerous split pusher was Camille, because she had the true damage, she had insane sustain, but now her true damage got nerfed. Riven, even with Divine Sandra, if you build a full tanky armor, Malphite, Riven can't do too much. Darius, I think Darius is pretty good because he has true damage. Renekton, I don't think Renekton can deal with a full armor Malphite. Jace as well. Set, kind of tricky because Set has true damage. I would actually go Divine Sandra set against Malphite even. But besides that, a lot of picks Malphite counters by default because of his attack speed debuff and his armor stacking. So that's pretty good. Jax can be pretty good against Malphite though, because Jax has mixed damage and he's an insane split pusher. So if you want to pick something against Malphite, go for a hard split pusher or go for a teamfight champion, for example. I would actually go for Jax. Just because if he roams for Dragon Teamfight, just ping them. Please don't fight it out. Let him come and then you take the turret for free. And then also you outscale him, plus you have mixed damage. You have a lot of magic damage and physical damage, plus Divine Sandra. But yeah, I think Malphite is gonna be a strong S tier. I wasn't sure if I might put him S plus tier, but yeah, I think a lot of split pushers can punish him. Because the playstyle is, I'm not a fan of, oh, I abandon my turret to join a team fight, and if it doesn't work, then we're just losing. Like, I feel like this is a very flippy playstyle. It works in low elo, obviously, but if the enemy Baron laner is on a Jax and plays it well, the moment you roam, the moment you go for Dragon, a Jax is gonna take 2 turrets. Jax with Demolish is gonna take 2 turrets from you. But yeah, I think a strong S tier is more than fair. He's moving up thanks to the Iceborn Gauntlet buff. Next one is gonna be Irelia. Why did I have a star here? I think I didn't change it from the last time. Oh, I just want to highlight that I've made the video recently where I said Irelia is the most broken champion. I still stand by it because in the mid lane and in the jungle she is disgusting. In the Baron lane, I think she has a few counter matchups which are hard to play. But if you are a proficient, a pro Irelia, you can make it work. So I don't think she has like a hard counter. It's like harder matchups, but it's skill based. So if you're good on Irelia, you can definitely beat those matchups if you play it well. And Irelia right now, she's kind of brain dead. You go Blade of the Rune King, Divine Summoner, Death Dance. You are an absolute beast. Like, she is so strong right now and she does so much damage. It's like, you saw my video, I'm missing all the third abilities. I'm not stunning anyone, but I'm still getting 16 kills in a game. Imagine I'm hitting my stuns, I get fucking 30 kills. Like, it's actually crazy how broken she is. Like, I'm by no means a good Irelia player, and I've got 16 kills on my main account, so next one is gonna be Gragas. He got changed, his ultimate got nerfed. I think a tank Gragas with Iceborn Gauntlet can be pretty good. Yeah, because Iceborn Gauntlet, armor stacking got buffed. Makes him a little bit better. I mean, I've put him S tier beforehand. I'm just highlighting that he has the potential to be even better now, even though they got his, like, Iceborn Gauntlet makes him a bit better now, because armor stacking means he will have more damage. But at the same time, they nerfed the ultimate speed, so it's harder for you to catch people. Akali, S tier, pretty solid pick. Fleet footwork, I like it. Thanks for the energy. Overall, decent Baron laner, good carry potential in team fights. Garen, a very good, solid, easy, for beginner friendly, tanky champion, which also does, or who also does a lot of damage. Wukong, a solid laner that has an amazing ultimate for team fights, AoE crowd control. Diana, if you guys want AP damage in the Baron lane, she is a pretty good choice. She has solid laning phase, her teamfight potential is crazy, and she does a lot of damage. Jax, one of the best split pushers, one of the best scaling champions. He is weak in the early game against a lot of champions, but the scaling is insane, and once you have like 3 items, you become an absolute beast, and at that point, you just become unstoppable for the enemy Baron laner. Shen, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, if this was competitive, Shen would be S plus tier, but I'm not a fan of Shen in solo queue. I think it's too uncoordinated and you rely too much on your teammates to perform well. And if your teammates are inting, you can't really carry the game on your own. So that's why I'm not a fan of a tanky pick in the Baron lane. I think that's one of the reasons I don't want to put Malphite in as plus tier. Because those tanky champions, obviously, they have the crowd control, but they still rely on the teammates to do damage. And if the teammates don't do damage, you ain't gonna win. And that's the difference about those, like Darius. If you have 4 inters in your team, Darius still has the potential to kill 5 people. If he gets one reset, he gets Noxus Might, he can wipe the enemy team completely on his own. Just the others are just meat shield, basically. He can still carry, but if your team is bad on Chen, you're not gonna win no matter what. You can be 10-0, if your teammates are bad, you're not gonna win. But those champions in S+ tier, they have the potential. Okay, let's not say 4 inters, let's say 2 inters. Let's say you have 2 inters, they have the potential to carry and win it. Next one is gonna be Nasus. I'm always giving you guys the same explanation about those tanky champions. Nasus playstyle is not the best in solo queue because you rely a lot on farming up. He is one of the best scaling champions. He becomes unstoppable. If you do scale, he is amazing. But the downside is, if your teammates are doing bad, no matter how well you do, you're never gonna carry the game on Nasus. Because he needs a lot of time to scale. He needs he just has to sit in his lane. He can't join those team fights, and other champions that can win early game on can join those early skirmishes and try to backpack the inting teammates, which Nasus can't really do. So his playstyle is kind of counterproductive for solo queue. That's my opinion. Like, if you have like a bot lane that is not inting Nasus, you're gonna scale, you're gonna win your lane, and you can join those team fights later on. But if your bot lane is inting, there is no way you're gonna win on Nasus. If you have an inting bot lane, you can't win. Unless you're like 10-0 and you're just you're joining and you just wipe them all. But that's not gonna happen, like not gonna happen usually. Tryndamere, I think Tryndamere with Lethal Tempo is pretty good right now. Yes, amazing scaling. 1v1 he's also pretty solid. Early game he's really weak though. Fiora received the buff for the early game, makes her better in the laning phase. I had her between A and S tier. I'm just gonna put her like low S tier. By the way, this is not the ranking, by the way, but I'm just gonna say for this champion, she is probably low S tier, maybe low S tier. I'm not sure yet. I feel like against a lot of melee champions, she can be pretty good. The downside is her playstyle right now is split push and only duel, because her teamfight is really not that good. Thanks to the range nerf. Yeah, they buffed her early game. They buffed the first ability by 10 damage and her HP by 40 or something, which is it's nothing. It's like a slight early game buff. Makes her better in the early game. She can be pretty good against melee champions, but her team fighting still sucks. So that's why I just put a S or low S tier. Next one is gonna be Camille. This is the my heart is hurting, guys. My heart is hurting. If your heart is also hurting because they fucking butt shot Camille, write it down below in the comments. Let's talk about the changes. Okay, what they did is the true damage ratio from 100% at every level, they changed it. Level 1, 40%, level 5, 60, level 9, 80, and level 13, 100%. So, until level 9, you will always do 40% or 60% damage. And at level 9, you have 80% of your old damage back on the first ability. So, your early and mid game is so weak right now. Your trading ability in the early game, she used to be one of the best early game traders in the laning phase. Now, I feel like if you are proficient on Camille, you can still make her work. Because you still have the passive, you still have a Thunderer, you still have Grasp. or fleet footwork, you can still trade and do okay-ish. But her trading is going to be much weaker right now because her damage on the first ability, on the second part of the first ability, is going to be so weak. So I feel like in the early game you won't even use the true damage part. Like 40% of your true damage is basically nothing. And if they don't have armor, then might as well just use the normal part, like Q or S1, and then immediately use it again instead of trying to wait for the true damage part. On top of that, they also nerfed the movement speed by 10% at every rank on the first ability, which also makes her trading worse because you can't outpace the enemy anymore. With the second ability, you can slow them down. With fleet footwork and first ability, you will get movement speed. So you hit them and then you just back off. That was the idea, but this is going to be much harder now with the movement speed nerf. So her early and mid game trading power is much worse. They reduced the damage by 60% in the early game before the ultimate, and then later on it's still 40% damage nerf. Plus the move, you guys will realize the movement speed nerf is also big. This is gonna be big for trading. Then on top of that, the ultimate duration got nerfed in the mid and late game by 0.5 then 1 second. That's like whatever. But also in the patch notes, what they did is you can't use stasis while using ultimate anymore to lock up the enemy ADC. So make it utility-wise even worse. But trust me, the trading potential of Camille will be so weak. You still have Divine Sandra for healing, and then later you're scaling. But she used to be one of the best early game champions, trading-wise. And now they made, I don't know how, maybe I'm putting, maybe A, I think A is fine. She still has the utility. I feel like maybe you have to go second ability max instead. What about you put like 2 points into first ability and then you just put second ability max. And just try to poke with the second ability instead. Until you have enough level for the true damage to be useful. I think this might be the go-to, honestly. It depends on the champion you're facing. Because against some champions they have the gap close, so the second ability is not that useful. But I think against a lot of melee champions, the second ability might be better. Or you just use the first ability without the true damage part. I need to test her out more, but I think A tier is fair. A tier is fair. Because they butchered the first ability. They butchered the first ability completely. Next one, Ekko. Ekko got a... Oh, wait. Let's put the star. Ekko got a buff. But it's more for the jungle. But still. So, what they did... They increased the base HP by 40, increased the armor, and increased the mana. It's gonna be pretty solid buff for his early game. And then they increased the damage on monsters on the first ability. On top of that, the second ability passive got buffed, plus the AP ratio on the third ability. So I think he's a pretty safe laner with the first ability, always trying to last it. And he has pretty good scaling as well, so a solid A tier. Akshan, a great counter against a lot of melee matchups. He's kind of squishy, and you... I always explain it the same. I kind of feel like I'm repeating myself, but if you're new to the tier list, he's a range champion, and that's also that's the advantage, and that's also the downside at the same time. That you have the range advantage to abuse melee champions, but at the same time, if the jungler decides to camp you, they can just make you non-existent. They can just perma-kill you, since you are very squishy and you are pretty easy to kill compared to like a tanky champion. So if enemy Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, Evelynn are camping your ass, you can't play the game anymore. Same explanation for Vayne and Akshan, but I feel like, I mean, Vayne and Lucian, but Akshan is easier. Is easier to play, and he's in terms of his escape ability is better than those two. Plus, I feel like he can punish melee champions harder. Like he can dash back and forth, and the first ability is so amazing for zoning people. And he's not as squishy. I feel like he's not as squishy as those two. Graves is a pretty good split pusher, solid in the lane. I feel like his playstyle is not that easy to pull, like to make it work, because I feel like a lot of Graves players are not performing as well as I would love to see them do. And I think a lot of matchups is kind of tricky for Graves, so I'm just putting him 8 here. Yasuo. Yasuo is a solid. I mean, he does have a bunch of counter matchups, but he has the potential to be insane in the mid and late game if you have the right team comp, and he skates like a truck. So I wouldn't underestimate a Yasuo in the lane, because if you are good on Yasuo, you can actually beat a few matchups right here. Olaf is a pretty solid Baron laner. He has the potential to hard carry in the mid and late game if he snowballs against tanky champions and against team compositions that rely on crowd control. Cannon is the ranged AP champion that I think is okay-ish in the laning phase, but not that insane, and I feel like his teamfight is okay, but his damage output is meh. Like, I know how strong he was at release, and in comparison, I've never seen Baron lane cannons perform exceptionally well, because I feel like a lot of matchups he's losing later on, and his teamfight, his ultimate just doesn't do as much damage as I would like to see. Jarvan is a solid Baron laner that can hold his lane pretty well and has core control. Pantheon, early game pretty strong, but falls off behind really hard, and he has a lot of counter matchups. Dr. Mundo is a tanky champion that I feel like doesn't provide too much. Like, he is better than Malphite in terms of damage, but he doesn't provide the crowd control or the teamfight utility. He's just a meat shield, and on top of that, he's getting outscaled by a lot of champions that are running Divine Thunderer. Singe, I think Singe is early game pretty fucking weak. He skates like a truck though, so if you make it past level 8 or something and you're scaling, he can be very good in team fights. Like, his pickup potential is crazy, and he scales super strong. Like, once he has Rylai's, Liandry's, and one armor item like Deadman's Blade, 3 items with Proto Belt, he has the potential to pick off a lot of people. I already explained Vayne and Lucian. They are good counter matchups against melee champions like Fox. Actually, I think Riven kills Irelia kills, and then Renekton. Yep. I think the best choice is maybe Darius or Fiora. Or maybe Garen. But I think the Arsal can actually beat them. That's the thing. Yeah, Wukong can actually beat them as well. Jax is gonna outscale. Actually, they can bully Jax early game at least. But Jax has a jump ability. And then these two have the downside of, if they get camped, they are completely useless. Kale, early game, super weak. Mid game, super weak. Late game, yes, late game strong, but before that, every champion bullies here, and then on top of that, if enemy jungler camps you, you're useless. Teemo is too weak to bully anyone, honestly. This champion relies so much on bullying, like, you bully the enemy laner, you zone him away, you get the advantage, you're snowballing, then you're scaling, and then you can be useful. But usually you don't get that going, and he's very squishy, he's easy to kill. Riven, all in, boom, dead, just everyone kills him. Everyone, level 5 plus, everyone kills him. Like, before level 5, okay, sure, he can bully some champions, but after that, he just gets outscaled by every champion. But yeah, let's go for jungle. Okay, guys, let's continue with the jungle tier list. I don't know what they did, but they have decided to buff Ekko. They have decided to buff Ekko, and they have decided to make his jungle tier better on the first ability. I don't know. I felt like he was more than fine. People were like, oh, he's too squishy. No, he was more than balanced. He was strong and balanced, and then Riot was like, let's make him broken. And trust me, what they did made him broken. They made his base stat. He gets 40 more HP. He gets 5 more armor. He gets mana. 30% more damage on monsters on the first ability. Third ability, better AP ratio, and second ability, more damage as well, and better AP ratio. I have two build ideas, but I think actually I would go similar build like Evelyn. I would actually go Deathcap into Lichbane. Deathcap, Lichbane, then Infinity Orb, then Void Staff. I think that's gonna be the go-to build on Ekko. I've known some people go for the Ludens. I think Luden's not bad. But I think actually Deathcap gives him the better power spike now. And with the better jungle clear speed and the better AP ratios as well, I think just going for Deathcap is better. Because then your Lichbane is gonna be so strong. I mean, you can still go Ludens, Rabadon. I know some people like the Road of Age build. Road of Age into Deathcap or Nashor's Tooth, but I don't. First of all, I don't like Nashor's Tooth. I don't think you're a champion that uses a lot of auto attacks in team fights. I don't think that's the place that you should go for. I think you should go for more like kiting poke build or kiting jump. Like you jump in back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and keep kiting. Like I don't think you're doing consistent auto attack damage because he's a champion that is a glass cannon. No matter, you don't buy HP on a glass cannon just so you can be in a team fight longer and use auto attacks. You don't use auto attacks. You use your fucking abilities on Ekko. Second ability gives him tons of shield, and the more AP you have, the more shielding you're getting. And Deathcap gives you huge AP boost. So you will get a big shield, and then you still have the ultimate to revive. You pretty much rewind time and get HP back. I think Deathcap. I've tried Deathcap before the nerf, before the patch, and I think Deathcap right now, Deathcap Lichbane is the way to go. I'm gonna make a video for it, or maybe I have already made a video for it by the time you're watching. Deathcap Ekko is gonna Deathcap Rush Ekko Lichbane. I think that's the way to go, and I think Ekko is gonna be I don't know. Maybe you have seen the Ekko video by now. By the time you're watching, maybe I've seen it already, or maybe I'm gonna upload it. I'm not sure because I always pre-schedule and then I'm switching back and forth. So maybe you have seen the Ekko video before this one already. But yeah, I think Ekko broken. Bad idea. I don't know. I think only bad players were like, oh, he's too squishy. He needs a buff. He's not good enough. If you like. This is a champion that got freshly released, and people need to learn this champion first before they do any changes. They think, okay, the win rate on him is so bad right now because people don't know how to play him. People that don't know how to play him are going to perform bad, have bad win rate, and across the average, win rate is going to be worse. But hey, once people start learning him, his win rate is going to be better. But now they already buffed him before they can adjust and learn the champion. So the people that already mastered Ekko with the buff, broken. Hey, Olaf got nerfed on the first ability, doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Olaf is still broken as fuck. One of the best jungle clear speeds, insane damage, true damage. You max the third ability. True damage, OP. You can ignore crowd control, by the way. Next one is Camille Morgana, the fastest jungle clear in the game right now. She gets level 5 the quickest, and you basically power farm, and then you just poke, and you have insane utility and poking damage. Lee Sin Kha'Zix, decent jungle clear and two of the best junglers, and very good at carrying games 1 versus 9. Insane damage as well, and very good at snowballing the game. Irelia got nerfed for her passive, but the issue is just the Violent Sunra Irelia is just too strong, and it makes her weaker. It makes her jungle clear a little bit slower, but I think it doesn't matter in the end. She is just beyond broken, does too much damage. I think everyone realized it by now. I don't need to explain it. Nuno got the slight buff, but I don't think it's gonna put him into S+ tier. I think S tier is more than fine for him. He's a very good utility-based jungler that is like Lee Sin, perma ganks, but is AP damage, and is very, very tanky. The downside is he's not the typical 1 vs 9 super hyper carry champion. He's a team-based champion. He's a tanky frontline that provides crowd control. Xin Zhao is a very strong jungler right now. He's tanky, he does a lot of damage. I think he does an amazing job at everything that he needs to do. But it's not quite as plus level where I'm saying, wow, he's so broken, he is too good. I think he's very, very strong though. AP Gregors, very good. Good ganker, good damage. They kind of wait. Let me put the star because they star means I've moved them between the tier list or they got to change. Overall, very solid AP jungler, good ganking damage, good ganking potential, and good poking damage. Next one is gonna be Jace. Jace is a very solid jungler that does insane poking damage and has potential to carry games pretty good. Vi is a solid jungler that has one of the best jungle clears, is good at ganking, is tanky. The downside is I just don't feel like she's like the typical 1 vs 9 champion. She's more like a utility picking off champions with the ultimate for the team champion. Graves. Graves is a good carry champion, but the downside is he's very slow. Like he needs to farm a lot and his ganking is not that good. Same applies for Jax. Early game kinda weak and slow, but he has the potential to carry games very hard once he has like 3 or 4 items and he gets going. Jarvan, an amazing tanky ganking machine. Like he does decent damage in the early game. He is very good at ganking. He's good frontline with crowd control, so S tier. Riven is one of the best snowballing champions. She does insane damage. She is very good with Divine Sandra. But I just don't feel like her ganking potential is that insane. And I feel like in the early game, Riven loses to Olaf, Lee Sin and Kha'Zix. 1 vs 1 in the early skirmishes. I mean, depends. Depends. I think S tier is fine. Next one is gonna be Darius. Darius, the main reason he's like one of the best 1 vs 9 champion. He's amazing in solo queue. That's why I like him. Jungle clear is okay-ish. Ganking potential is not the greatest, but trust me, he gets 1 reset, he just wins the team fights immediately. That's the advantage. The downside of these 2 champions, they can get kited pretty easily against certain team comps. Next one is gonna be Evelynn. Evelynn is an amazing ganker. She abuses a lot of people that underestimate her invisibility. But people I mean, if you are not dumb and you use your control word correctly, you have 5 enemies now that can buy control words to get vision on you. So I think in high elo she got worse if you play. I mean, high elo doesn't exist anymore. That's the downside. Master players are like platinum. Oh, I've heard someone who was checking like if they see a master player in wildrift, they can check the hashtag and check the profile in LoL PC and they can see their gold players there. Kind of sad. I mean, I think these players are like platinum level right now, or platinum wildrift level compared to other seasons. Like master is very inflated, so high elo doesn't really exist, and Evelynn can abuse those master players pretty easily. To be fair, but in a setting where people use control words correctly, Evelynn is really not that good anymore. Like if you don't play overextended and use your control word correctly, it's very hard for Evelynn to get those ganks off. Okay, Fiora received the buff, but I still think she is just A tier in the jungle. She's a great duelist though, but her ganking and her team fighting is not that insane. I mean, if you snowball, you can still do a lot of work done. Camille got a lot weaker. It's gonna, like, the Q nerf is also gonna make her jungle clear much worse. For the mid game especially. So later on your farming potential is gonna be much worse. But you still have the ganking potential with her ultimate. Rammus. I've decided Rammus with Iceborn Gauntlet. I'm gonna make a video about it. And I think Iceborn Gauntlet Rammus is gonna be insane. He's gonna do so much damage because he is one of those champions that benefits the most from armor stacking. And the more armor you have, the more damage you will do with Iceborn Gauntlet. And This is also gonna make his jungle clear better. Like the issue before is his jungle clear was really bad, and he really relies on getting some early game ganks, snowballs, kills to get enough gold to clear the jungle quicker. But now with Iceborn Gauntlet, that's gonna fix the issue, because the more armor you have, the more damage you will do, and you can kill the jungle easier now. And you're scaling better as well, thanks to Iceborn Gauntlet. I'm gonna think of a build, but I think it's gonna be something like Sunfire, Thornmail, Iceborn Gauntlet, maybe Runruins, maybe Deadman's Plate, and then probably one magic resistance item, Abyssal Mask or something. Or maybe Wit's End. Maybe I'm just gonna using Wit's End. Because the more armor you have, the more damage your auto attacks will do, and with Wit's End during the second ability, you can do a lot of damage. I think that's gonna be the idea. Next one is gonna be Tryndamere. I already explained it last time. Tryndamere, lethal tempo, pretty good. Wait. His early game jungle clear is not the greatest. I think it's decent. His ganks are okayish, but he scales pretty good. Like once you have 3 items, he can soak a lot of damage in teamfights because he's unkillable for like 5 seconds. And 3-4 items, crit Tryndamere is pew pew, 3 hits, bam, you're dead. 3 hits, bam, you're dead. Downside is if the enemy have a lot of mobility and crowd control, that's gonna hurt him a lot. Rengar received the nerf on his base AD, which is gonna make his jungle clear worse, plus control wards. I think he's still solid and he can still snowball, but it's definitely gonna hurt him. Next one is gonna be Diana. Diana is kind of slow in the early game, but she is very good in team fights. She doesn't have the amazing ganking potential, but she has the amazing teamfight potential. Wukong. Wukong is... he's kind of average. A is for average, honestly. He does everything okayish. Like, his ganks are okay, his jungle clear is okay, his teamfight is pretty good, thanks to his ultimate, but he's like an ultimate bot and relies on his teammates to carry the game, because he doesn't do that much damage, and he falls off later on. He's basically just a tanky utility jungler. He's not like one of those typical carry junglers, in my opinion. Next one is gonna be Pantheon. Very good early game ganks. Does a lot of damage in the early game as well, but he falls off so hard later on. Like, if the game goes beyond level 10, that's the point where you're probably not gonna win the game, unless your teammates are carrying you. If your teammates are bad and you're snowboarding, you're probably gonna lose the game because you're just falling off too hard. Shyvana is like I already said it, lethal tempo Shyvana is pretty good. You just power farm. Like, you have now more time with the 5 minutes and you can just focus on power farming, get like Blade of the Rune King, get Divine Sunra, go for a more damage build, and then later on tanky. And you can do a lot of damage in those teamfights. Amumu. Why did I move him up? I think I was thinking about maybe you can use Iceborn Gauntlet Amumu. You go for full tank Iceborn Gauntlet build. Honestly, I don't think that's the way to go. I would go Sunfire, maybe Liandry or Rylai's, and then I mean you can go Iceborn Gauntlet. Honestly, you can build stack armor. But do you guys know one issue about Amumu? Even if you build him tanky, he's not that tanky, and even if you build him AP, he doesn't do that much damage AP. And his jungle clear he's weak early game. His jungle clear is like meh, and he's like an ultimate bot. That's what I don't like. I've moved Singe. I thought Singe is not that good, but I've played Singe jungle, and I still think it's good. It's so funny. His jungle clear is okay, and he has one of the best ganking potentials. Like, his ganks are crazy. The moment you have Pro belt, he's one of the best playmaking champions. And he scales so hard. 3 items plus, you have an issue. He's a problem. That's what they say. He's a problem. Once he has like 3-4 items, you have a big problem if you didn't punish him yet. Protobelt, third ability, insane catch potential. Second ability, you can slow people down, plus they can't use any mobility abilities including flash. So if you use second ability, then Protobelt, third ability, you're catching someone guaranteed, no matter what. And Cinch is so good at doing that. Master, he's just, honestly, he's just, I don't want to say anything, he's just too weak. He's just too weak. Set, he's okay. His jungle is, honestly, I've recorded the crit jungle build, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, honestly. Honestly, I think I should put him 8 here. He's honestly not that bad. His jungle clear is not that bad. He has good ganking potential. He's tanky. He has playmaking potential. Let's put him 8 here. Fizz. You should put Fizz 8 here as well. I think the main reason I've always put him down is his jungle clear is so bad, and he's always low life, so people can just abuse him and gank him. Like if they invade you, you have a big problem. If people like if you go, by the time you finish 3 camps, Morgana is already level 5 or almost level 5. Let's say you go for full red clear. By the time you finish your 3 camps, Morgana already cleared your buff as well. And that's the issue. She already cleared your buff as well. For example, Lee Sin invades you, you're low life at blue buff, you're done. Kha'Zix's done. Olaf done. Irelia done. If anyone invades you, you're just done so. But obviously, he's an assassin. If he snowballs and he's scaling, he has amazing carry potential. Mundo, bad at ganking, bad jungle clear, meat shield. Oh, okay, Shen, same, exactly same. I mean, he does have crowd control, but he's he's way slower than, he's probably the slowest jungle clear. He probably has the slowest jungle clear, and he's very squishy in the jungle, in my opinion. I feel like you need a lot of gold, but you're very slow at clearing stuff to get gold, and that's the issue. Okay, let's go to mid lane. Mid lane, Irelia got changed, that's why I put the star there. But Irelia is one of the most broken champions in the game right now. She is, even if you're not good on her, she does way too much damage, and she just press all your buttons and you just kill people. Karma, one of the best poking champions with too much utility. Diana, amazing assassin with tons of damage and amazing teamfight. Amazing teamfight carry potential. Katarina, amazing teamfight carry potential. 1 versus 9 hyper carry S+++ here. Like the moment one person dies, you get a pentakill. That's a funny thing. No matter the elo, it doesn't matter the elo. If you get one kill in a teamfight, boom, everyone else is dead. Like, you can focus your crowd control on her, but usually people don't do that. Plus, if she moves so fast, jumping back and forth, it's really hard to hit your abilities unless you have like an easy stun lock on her. Next one, Yasuo. Yasuo, one of the best scaling champions and teamfight champions if you have the right team composition. And even if you don't have the right team composition, if you are a master on Yasuo, you land the Protobelt, Flash, Dash, S1 combo, Tornado, boom, they're just all dead. Like, you need, like, the moment you have 2 core items, like, okay, let's say 3, the game is done. So if you are good at Yasuo, he's too good. And early game, I think he does, if you play him well, he doesn't lose any lanes, to be honest. Like, he's so amazing. Like, you just land one good flash combo with your tornado, or how do you call it, the Beyblade, Airblade, whatever, and they just all get knocked up and they all die. And the opposite, for example, if you have a Wukong, Rakan, Malphite, boom, they just all die once you press your ultimate. Veigar received a buff. I don't know why they decided to buff him again, but I think it was the Event Horizon crowd control got increased and the first ability cooldown got lowered. I actually feel like a good Veigar is really good. He is Early game not that strong. In the laning phase, he loses against a few champions and can get bullied. But if you play him well and safe, once you get scaling, once you get going, he provides a lot of damage. Obviously the downside is his range is not that big, but Event Horizon, if you land it correctly, he can be pretty devastating in teamfights. Like, I've played against a very good Veigar the other day, and wow, if you play him well and you land the Event Horizons, can be pretty nasty. And they also buffed the third ability now. Like, the crowd control is now 0.25 seconds longer. Ekko received the buff, but I don't think it's gonna put him as plus tier. It's gonna make his laning phase better, and it's gonna make him better in the early game. And he's good. He's a good poking assassin. Like he if you land the second ability correctly in teamfights, you just win the teamfight immediately. Second ability, like I've seen some E flash combos, so third ability in flash or flash third ability into the second ability and stunning everyone. It can be pretty amazing in teamfights. He's good poking damage with the first ability as well, and decent utility plus the ultimate to rewind time, and even if you're low life, you can get full life again. Why did they put us down 6? Oh, he got nerfed. Yeah, they nerfed him, but I think it doesn't matter. He still provides too much safe poking damage from far away. Cinch, amazing playmaking champion in the mid lane. Very safe against almost every matchup. Minus, I think Akshan can be pretty annoying, and Jace as well. Maybe Twisted Fate as well. But besides that, he doesn't have any issues against most champions. He just shoves the wave, then he roams, gets some picks off, he scales like a truck, and then he just picks people off left and right with a Protobot third ability play. Akali, solid assassin, great team fighter. Lucian, marksman that has amazing mobility. Like, he has so much mobility and he does so much damage at the same time. Orianna, same like Ziggs, one of the best and consistent long-range poking champions that is amazing in teamfights as well. Fizz is a strong duelist that has the potential to one-shot people left and right once he snowboards. He has the ultimate to catch people. He can jump in, one-shot you, and then jump out again. Galio, poking champion that is tanky, has amazing crowd control, like he has the taunt, he has the global ultimate to join team fights and knock people up. Good playmaking champion, and also good poking champion. Twisted Fate it's very good snowballing champion that can control the map with his ultimate, ganking left and right and snowballing. Jay is one of the best poking champions, melee form, or physical damage. Strong duelist as well, and does insane damage. Zed, one of the best assassins, very good duelist, beats a lot of champions. If you master him, you can win a lot of those matchups 1 vs 1 and try to snowball and assassinate. Plus, he can split push at the same time very, very well. Akshan, one of the best early laners, and he also scales like a truck. Like, I mean, every crit champion scales super well, and in the laning phase, he wins against almost every champion, or he can dominate a lot of matchups in the early game and then try to snowball. Ari is an assassin with a lot of mobility and playmaking potential. Corki is a solid ADC that is amazing in teamfights thanks to the package. The moment you have package, he kind of denies any teamfights, because if the enemy team is stupid enough to start a teamfight against a Corki that has package, you're probably gonna lose, because Corki package is one of the most broken abilities in the game, and especially in teamfights if you use it well. Plus, he scales, he has crit damage, or you buy crit, and he scales once he has like 3 items, does amazing, like tons of damage. I put a star last time, I can remove it. Yeah, hello? Hello there? Hello? Okay, now. Yeah, Kale is early game kinda weak, but with lethal tempo, makes makes her a lot better, and her scaling is crazy. She provides utility in form of slow. She has some poking damage, plus she has the ultimate to make her or other people invincible. Aurelion Soul, pretty good roamer, does a lot of damage, is good in team fights, but I just feel like his early game is kind of weak and he struggles against a lot of matchups. Garen is a tanky juggernaut in the mid lane if you guys need the front line, and if you play against melee champions, then Garen can be the go-to pick. He's obviously just meat shield that also does a lot of damage at the same time. Brand is a poking champion that lacks the roaming ability that I love to see in a mid laner. He can, in the right team comp, he can do a lot of damage, but he's very squishy. He doesn't have the insane long range like Orianna and Ziggs, and he's very bad at roaming. If you roam against one of those assassins, and if they're trapping against you, or if the enemy jungler is there, you're just dead immediately. Like, he's one of those champions I feel like you can't step too far out unless you have perfect vision, and if you don't, you just die. Morgana. Utility base, she is okay, but she doesn't provide the greatest damage in the mid lane. And the thing is about jungle Morgana, she can power farm and get a lot of gold, but Morgana in the mid lane is kind of slow in terms of scaling, and her wave play is not that good. They nerfed lane Morgana damage and buffed her damage in the jungle. So that's why I feel like she's just A tier. Bad roamer, bad wave clear. Provides good utility though and decent poking damage, but a little very scaling. She's very scaling. Early game she's weak and loses a lot of matchups. Plus, where was I? Yeah, Jungle Morgana is just much better. Gregor's solid poking. Oh, I should put a star because it got changed. Poking champion in the mid lane that provides decent utility in team fights. Pantheon, one of the strongest early game champion, but falls off super hard in the mid and late game. And he relies on snowballing. But if he snowballs, he can jump and rotate and gank with his ultimate left and right. So you really need to snowball and get the kill early game. Otherwise, if you don't get any kills, you're just falling off compared to any other champion. Annie, the issue about champions like Annie, Brand, the roaming ability. Very bad at roaming without getting punished. If you're roaming on those champions, and if you're playing against, I don't know, you're playing against Zed, you're playing against Diana, Irelia, Ari, Akali, you're just dead. You're just dead. And if you're playing against Elise and Kha'Zix, you're trying to roam, you dead as well. She can be pretty good in teamfight as well. With a Protomal ultimate, you have the potential. But that's the issue. That's the issue. The issue is just, in the mid lane, roaming is the key. Roaming and joining teamfights, roaming and snowballing on the other lanes, that's the key on winning games. And also how much damage and how well you can perform in a teamfight. She's kind of close ranged. She's pretty close range. Do you rely on the surprise factor with a Protobelt ultimate or the Flash ultimate? But if they're too far away, if you don't surprise them, you are super bad in teamfights. You rely on the surprise factor, like you're in a boss, you're surprising them and you're getting the all-in engage on them. That's the only way to make any useful. And it works, because people are bad. But if people were not dumb, if people were like, if it's a full high elo challenger lobby, this is not a high elo only lobby, but you get the point. If people are not too stupid to fall into your trap, and then it's probably not working. That's the issue. That's the issue. She's very squishy. She doesn't have big range as well, and she relies only on her ultimate to make plays happen. You need to always commit Protobelt or Flash to make her work with her ultimate. Unless you do that, she's not working. But I mean, she can be pretty devastating in teamfights. That's, kind of shit talking here, but I put her 8 here. I think she is more than fine. Ever the mid lane is where, honestly, I should not put her mid lane anymore. I should remove it. Let's put her out. Oh shit. Wait, talking now. Oh my god, I need to do. No, I can't move it out. Let's put the just seat here. Kenny mid lane. Hey, I don't know. He's okay. Bad wave clear, decent team fight. Seraphine, bad Roma. Very bad Roma. Super squishy, ultimate bot. She got nerfed as well. Lux, very, very bad Roma. Her wave play is okay-ish. Her team fight can be okay. But I see nothing special there. I'm flaming Lex play. No, I don't know. I just feel like she doesn't provide too much. Like, honestly, you can't roam with her. Like, if I play this champion and I'm against any other assassin, I would always be scared that I do one misstep, I'm dead meat. I'm dead. If the jungler decides to camp me, I try to step a little bit too far out, I'm dead no matter what. I'm very squishy, I can't roam. I don't do insane amount of damage in teamfights as well. Same issue with Sona, but even worse. She's even more useless. She's so fucking useless. She only has the ultimate. Press ultimate, that's it. But she can't roam, she can't join teamfights, she has shit wave clear. Kai'Sa, I mean, the only reason I should remove her, honestly. AP Kai'Sa is a bait. I'm the Doom. I'm flaming you for. It's not even Doom that started it. I think Fakers. But PC is different than wildrift. PC is so different than wildrift. AP Kai'Sa, you don't have the time to scale. You need so much time to scale. You can't roam. You don't have wave clear. You don't even have enough damage. Like, if you want the scaling AP champion that does an insane amount of poking damage, go for Ziggs. Go for Orianna. Go for Veigar. You can even go for Veigar if you want to. Why Kai'Sa? No crowd control. Just the second ability for poke. Nice. You got baited. And she needs so much time to scale. So much time. Evelyn, control wards exist now. You can't really do the cheesy, like you shop wave and you try to roam and then you try. I should remove her, honestly. It's troll. At this point, it's kind of, I mean, you can make her work, but it's kind of troll, and you rely on your enemy midlaner to be absolute garbage, honestly. You shop the wave and then you try to gank left and right. That's the way to your player. Just try to snowball. Next one, ADC. I think ADCs didn't get changed at all, right? I can put a star here because he got he got changed, but the meta didn't change for ADCs. Any ADC got changed? No ADCs got changed, so it stays the same like last time. Kraken Slayer is dog shit. Don't play Kraken Slayer. I'm gonna remove it. No Kraken Slayer, guys. Don't play Kraken Slayer. Listen to me. Listen to I'm the Doom. At least in this case, he always says, "Don't play Kraken Slayer. It is shit." It doesn't provide you with a lot of damage. You get like, I don't know. Every third auto attack you do 100 more true damage. Let's... Conqueror gives you how much AD more? A ton of AD more. Lethal Tempo, how much AD you get? Let's think. More than 60% attack speed. I could also do calculate how much gold it is. It's like... let's open up. You get like 60% attack speed at max, right? And let's see, attack speed value 500 gold are 15% attack speed, so you get like more than 2000 gold in value when you have lethal tempo. And the other thing is, how much more true damage? 100 or something. So what's this better? Wait, how much AD do you get by Conqueror again? Let's check Conqueror. I mean, Conqueror did get nerfed, but Kraken Slayer is still broken. But let's see. How much AD do I get by Conqueror? 6 bonus AD per stack, up to 5 times. 30 AD and 8%. Oh, no, 6%. 6% bonus damage. 30 AD. Let's see. Math. I'm just memeing. I'm just memeing, by the way. How much was it again? What did I say? 30 AD, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like... round about a little bit less than 1.5. I'm not gonna do calculator. Wait, how much AD do I get again? 6 times. Oh yeah, 6 times 5, 30. Plus remember bonus damage. 6% bonus damage on a range champion. 8% on melee champions now. Since they nerf Conqueror. But 6% more damage, that's a lot. But yeah, the Conqueror and Lethal Tempo are much better. Just to make it clear, and guys, you should realize math. Just do the math and you will realize how much better these two are. Because remember, if you get AD, you will also do more damage. You get attack speed. You can buy more AD and you will do more auto attacks per second, meaning more damage per second at the same time. And per auto attack, per ability, and Kraken Slayer is only every third auto attack. Conqueror enhances all your damage on abilities, on auto attacks. Lethal Tempo enhances your auto attacks. Every auto attack is gonna come out faster. And because you get so much attack speed, you can buy more AD. And buying more AD means you have more damage on your auto attacks and more damage on your abilities. Wow! Okay, I got you covered. But anyways, Vayne. Vayne is the most annoying ADC in my opinion for me as a Baron laner, as a jungle player. I hate Vayne. If a Vayne is fed, you can't kill her anymore. She has too much mobility, she has too much damage, she has true damage, she has physical damage, she has the condemn, a stun. She has invisibility. She gets movement speed from her ultimate. Hello there. She's one of those champions. If you play her well, 1 versus 1, if she is fed, you are never gonna win on any champion 1 versus 1 against the Vayne. 1 vs 1, she's one of the best 1 vs 1 champions. Like, which champion can beat her 1 vs 1 in the late game? Maybe a Jax, thanks to third ability. But if you do a like sexy flash condemn, you still win it. Because he's stunned for 2 seconds, and then you have true damage, you can kite him with your fucking dashes too fucking much. And also, now that Camille is nerfed, Camille used to be one of the best counters against hard carry mobility champions like Vayne and Lucian. Then makes it even easier because people will play less Camille now. So Vayne still S+ tier, Lucian same fucking issue. Too much damage, too much mobility. These two champions, I hate them. So actually Lucian's kind of easier to deal with because Lucian has mobility, he has a lot of damage, but he doesn't have invisibility, and he doesn't have the condemn that can stun you for 2 seconds or something. Hello there. Next one, Caitlyn. Caitlyn, lethal tempo, too much damage, and too much range. Like, she's one of the most consistent champions, but she doesn't have the insane mobility like Vayne and Lucian. But if you have the front line, you will never reach her. It's very hard to deal with a Caitlyn that has a good front line, and that gets going in the early game. Saya, one of the best self... Oh! Ah! Whoa. Oh, guys! I have something. I should move Ezreal up. I was talking with Doom about Ezreal. I'm gonna explain it afterwards, but Saya does a lot of damage and has very good self-peel. Like, she can bait people, lure them in, feathers in, they get all rooted. She has the ultimate to dodge abilities at the same time. You don't really rely on an enchanter to peel for you because you have self-peel. Kai'Sa, why do I have stars on them? I didn't remove it yet. No, they didn't get changed. Pop. Come on, I can do it. Yeah, that's about it. Kai'Sa, what does she have? Her first ability does too much damage. She has attack speed, steroid, and invisibility. She has 1 dash plus a shield, and basically she has way too much damage. She has way too much damage. Next one. Ezreal seems to be a lot better now with the changes they did for the dragon, because you have more time for scaling. You can go get Mana Immune, Trinity Force, and Syreeta Scratch, I think. Or maybe you run Iceborn Gauntlet Ezreal right now. But I don't think you benefit too much from it because you're not armor stacking. But the main reason is you have more time to scale on him right now. And he has very good self-peel. I think Doom will move him up, so I'm gonna move him up as well. I think the main reason is he has more breathing time to scale. And no, the main reason is he has more breathing time to scale, and he scales like a truck. 3 items Ezreal is very, very strong. 4 items, he just pokes and kites. Varus, wait. Oh, I remember I did a mistake here last time. I forgot to change it. Obviously, you all don't play Conqueror on Jhin. You only use Fleet Footwork. But Varus, one of the best poking ADCs in the game, provides a lot of poking damage consistently and has pretty far range at the same time. But he's not like the typical hard carry ADCs that can carry the game 1 vs 9. He's a very consistent, solid poking champion. Jhin, strong early game. Late game, he is not quite as strong and can't carry as hard as those champions. And remember, he lacks mobility. He has 0 mobility. Varus has 0 mobility, but he has a little bit soft P with the ultimate at least. Corki. Corki is pretty strong. He's good poking damage. He has the package. He has crit damage. I feel like Corki, like in competitive, he's like S+. Yeah, everyone's playing him. He's so strong. I'm just gonna put him S tier. He's a very strong champion. What's his downside though? What's the downside to them? I guess the issue is just in the early game he kind of gets bullied by a lot of those champions. He isn't that strong in the early game. Jinx. Jinx is one of the best scaling champions. With an enchanter like Lulu and Yuumi, Lethal Tempo Jinx can be pretty devastating, but she still needs to get going. Like 3 items. But once she gets going, she can be so strong in team fights, but she also doesn't have the mobility. I feel like she's pretty easy to kill, even if she's fat. Like, if I'm on an assassin and I'm fat and she's fat, I can probably kill her pretty easily compared to a Lucian or Vayne. Ashe, I just don't feel like she does that much damage. She provides decent utility with her ultimate. Her early game is weak, to be fair. She doesn't scale like a truck as well. She's okay. She's average. A is for average. She does okay on an ADC. Tristana in the early game pretty weak, but she's one of the best scaling champions and does a lot of damage then. Ziggs, Orianna, Karma are great APCs, AP damage carries. They provide a lot of damage during the team fights consistently, but they are not like the super hard carry. Like, the meta just changed to Lethal Tempo. Like, Lethal Tempo hard carry ADCs just outshine those AP champions right now. Draven doesn't really benefit from Lethal Tempo, and I feel like the Lethal Tempo champions just outshine him, and he is one of those champions that he's very strong in the early game, but if he doesn't snowball, he isn't that amazing in the mid and late game in comparison to Vayne or Kai'Sa or Caitlyn. Misfortune is only strong in the early game, in my opinion. She falls off in comparison to Lethal Tempo champions a lot, damage-wise in team fights. Brand and Morgana are just the weaker versions, like the weaker versions of Ziggs and Orianna and Karma. They kind of lack the range and the mobility in comparison to them. Veigar. Even if he got buffed, I don't think he is a good champion in the APC role. He lacks the range. He is weak in the early game as well. And I don't think he provides as much damage as Ziggs or Orianna consistently in team fights. He does have some playmaking potential with let's put him B tier. I don't want to see Veigar players, honestly. You're just gonna grief yourself, don't play him. Same for Senna and Akshan. Okay, what's the issue? Senna, ADC, doesn't get not enough stacks, first of all. Then you're probably building crit Senna, which is kinda int. I mean, you can, it's okay-ish, but as ADC, I don't feel like you provide as much damage as any other champion, and she's very weak in the early game. Akshan, He is, in comparison to lethal tempo champions, so bad because he gets bullied in the early game. He doesn't have the same range as those champions, so he can't DPS enough in team fights if he doesn't have the front line. Like, there are some scenarios when I've seen a lot of Akshan ADCs, and the same issue always occurs. In team fight, they get outranged and they can't do as much damage as other ADCs. That's the main issue. Like, on an ADC, he just doesn't do as much damage, and as an ADC, you need to do the most damage in the game usually, and he just doesn't do it. Next one, support. I think support didn't change at all. We could talk about Iceborn Gauntlet getting buffed, which makes it would make Alistar better. You can run Iceborn Gauntlet on him, to be fair. It would make Gragas better, but Gragas at the same time got nerfed. I can remove Star because they didn't get changed. Galio, Iceborn Gauntlet. Maybe Leona. But is it the buff necessary? I mean, it makes them better, but it doesn't make them too much better as a support. I feel like Iceborn Gauntlet is one of those items that is more needed on Baron laners to do more damage, and not necessarily on supports. I don't think you need them on supports. But yeah, Yuumi and Karma are two of the best enchanters in the game right now. Yuumi, okay, let's see. Early game, she has a lot of poking damage. She has healing. She has shielding. She has movement speed buff. Then she has the ultimate for crowd control. And the longer the game goes, the better her utility gets. And if your ADC is not a monkey, but to be fair, the likelihood of you having ADC that is monkey is pretty high. So I'm just being sassy. Yuumi is just very good. I just wanted to BM ADC players. I just wanted to BM ADC players because you guys know I love to BM the botlane players. Because if you guys watch my stream, I played Alistar one time and I just fucking 1 vs 9 carried. You guys say always to me, Darkbreaker, you need to play full AP support to carry games. No, you don't. If you are a good playmaker, I one-shotted. I'm a full tank Alistar and I one-shotted Ekko. And you can't tell me I need to build damage on him. I just still one-shotted an Ekko. Full HP Ekko one-shotted on full tank Alistar. Maybe you will. I'll probably upload the gameplay because it was pretty funny. I'm obviously just joking around. I'm just joking around. Yuumi is one of the best enchanters. Same for Karma. Too much poking damage, too much shielding, too much crowd control. I can list it. Too much. She has too much of everything. Too much. It's just too much. Alistar received. In the last video where I was talking about the balance changes, I didn't understand the passive correctly. The passive is basically his passive to reduce reducing the cooldown of his passive got buffed. So now he can reduce his cooldown for the passive quicker. Instead of 8 seconds, 10 seconds. The self-heal got buffed self-heal got buffed, wait. Self-heal got buffed, and healing for Alaska. Yeah, they buffed the passive a lot. Then the cooldown of the second ability got lowered as well. Oh, it's a pretty good. Why did the wait? Should I put them up? No. No, I don't think it's gonna. It makes him better. He's already very strong, but I don't think it breaks the area to S+ tier. Still, he's a strong S tier. I think that's more than fine, right? So what can you do? He is one of the best early game roamer playmakers. Level 2. He can roam around. He can second ability, first ability, boom. He can catch people so easy, and it's AoE at the same time. So he has an AoE knock-up combo every late game, every 6 seconds or something. 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, he has an AoE knock-up combo for free. Meanwhile, this is Chet Alistair. Chet Alistair, Giga Chet Alistair, perma knockups. This is Virgin Malphite. Every 30 seconds he can use the ultimate to knock up people. Chet Alistair has damage reduction on his ultimate to tank forever. Plus every 5 seconds he can use his knockup combo. He can heal at the same time. He can stun on top of that. And he can push people away for free every 5 seconds or something. That's Giga Chat playmaking Roma Alistair versus I'm a minion, I can't do anything Malphite. What do? Do you play this Chat cow or do you play this rock that can do shit? You play this guy. You play this guy. Play Alistair. Honestly, Alistair is one of those champions I used to play the most when I was autofilling support. If I was a support main and if I want to play enchanters, I would probably... I don't like the playstyle of Yuumi. If you play duo Q, Yuumi is an absolute beast. I would play Karma or I would play Nami. I think those two are amazing enchanters because they have playmaking potential. They are not like the typical eagle, I'm pressing all my buttons on you. And if I was a chat playmaking support, I would play these 4 champions. These 4 champions. Alistair is probably the easiest to play. Rakan, Thresh have a higher skill ceiling, but they have amazing playmaking potential. Rakan has a lot of, like, he has 1 dash, and then he can 1 dash, which is a knock-up, and then he can also dash twice back and forth on his own teammates. So he has like Protobot, then he has Flash, then he has his knock-up, then he has a double dash. So he can just jump back and forth, make combos happen, and then he has also AoE taunt at the same time. So these 4 are amazing at roaming early game, making plays happen, try to snowball on the map, and very good in team fights. All of those 4, okay? If you want to play playmaking, tanky, support, these 4 are the go-tos. If you want to be a fucking cat abuser, go for Yuumi. Because she's broken. She's broken. But if you want to go for playmaking support, Karma and Nami are the go-tos. Nami. What does Nami have? Nami has a bubble that can knock up multiple people. She has healing and attack speed buff. She has an ultimate that can knock up multiple people at the same time. It's good for playmaking or engage and also for peeling. Gragas has now that they nerfed the ultimate, it makes it a little bit harder to catch people. But he's good at being tanky, first of all, because the second ability gives him damage reduction. Then he has the third ability to engage and stun people. Then the ultimate to pull people or push them away. Thresh has the hook to catch people off guard. Then he has the lantern to save people at the same time. Lulu is like one of those typical e-girl enchanters. Just press all of your buttons on the ADC and they're gonna carry, or press them on Olaf or Jaxer, for example. Good poking damage in the early game, good enchanter overall, because she can silence people or transform them so they can't use any abilities. She can give attack speed, a shield, and the ultimate gives them HP and AoE slow, if I'm not wrong. Soraka has become a very solid enchanter, provides a lot of healing overall, plus silence at the same time. They buffed her last patch and they made her really, really strong. Not quite on S tier, but a solid A tier. Janna, great peeling champion, provides a lot of crowd control and good peeling factor for your ADCs. Has Tornado to knock up people. Has the second ability in the early game to poke people down. Third ability provides a shield plus AD boost. And the ultimate pushes everyone away. So very good peeling champion. Galio, Leona, and Braum. I'm just gonna summarize because I think the video is like way too long at this point. They are good playmaking tanky champions that can peel and provide good crowd control, but I don't think they're on the level on like these 4 champions. That's my opinion. Seraphine, Sona, poking supports. I mean, it's okay, but it's just not like those three are kind of similar. Like she provides more damage and has the AoE ultimate, kind of the same, but I would say Seraphine. I mean, they're very similar. Lux does more damage, I would say, but she provides less crowd control than those two and utility. Like Sona can give heal and shield. Seraphine, I think she can heal and AoE taunt. Lux does more damage, she can bind people. Shen, as a support, is really, really weak because he's not tanky and he gets bullied in the early game and he only has the taunts. Seth is also in the support role. He's not that tanky because he doesn't have enough gold and he gets bullied in the early game. He does have some playmaking potential with the third ability, with the ultimate and pro belt maybe. Morgana support doesn't provide too much and is weak in the early game at the same time and is super scaling. She does have a bind, she does have dark shield, she has the ultimate. But I just don't feel like it's enough for supporting. Like I feel like she just gets outshined by these champions by too much. Singe is a cheesy playmaking support, weak in the early game. Same applies for Annie, to be honest. Too weak early game, but does have the surprise factor with the proto build, ultimate or with the flash ultimate combo. Amumu support, I'm just gonna summarize: trash, 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 giga trash, giga flippy trash. I'm calling it flippy trash because you need to land your hook. If you land your hook, good. If you don't land your hook, bad. Senna, giga trash, just giga trash. It's not necessarily the champion. If you're picking Senna and you play her well and you have the right team comp, it can be like B, A tier. But majority of the time, people on Senna are just trash. So because I don't want to see Senna players, I'm putting a C tier every single time, so people don't pick her. That's the main reason. It's a meat shield, doesn't do anything, useless meat shield. Snowboarding champion, cheesy snowboarding champion. Virgin Mundo versus Giga Chat Alistair. Who do I pick? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 very good tanky playmaking supports. Why would you go for this fucking champion? Weak in the early game, has only the ultimate every, I don't know, 40 seconds or 40, 50 seconds or something. Without ultimate, you're useless. What do? Every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. This guy, AoE taunt. This girl. Okay, single target stun. This guy, AoE ultimate, but the ultimate is also AoE. This guy, Palmer playmaking with the hooks. This guy, AoE taunt, has knockup as well. Why would you go for this champion? Tell me! Why do I see Malphite support in my games? Stop it! Okay, anyways, guys. Guys, I need you guys to support me and say or pray respect to Camille right now, because Camille has fallen. She has fallen. They didn't kill her, but they did like this. They just fucking bitch slapped Camille. So write down in the chat, F Camille, you were amazing for 1 year, but now Riot decided to nerf you beyond comprehension. Crazy nerf. But biggest change, I don't know what they were thinking, but the Ekko buff was too much. They made Ekko an absolute beast, and also Irelia has been one of the most broken champions right now in the game. She is way too strong. Like mid lane and jungle, she is just way too strong. And by the way, they should also nerf Karma. Karma as plus here and Karma as plus here. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. Write down below your feedback down below in the comments, and I see you next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye bye.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.